We are the Army Hearties, and welcome to a follow-up video on the self-assembling armor. Today we're gonna do it in survival mode with all of the parts, so I'm currently in survival. You should be able to see that by the fact that my energy and oxygen is being depleted. Now, I put a connector here because somebody said that it's not truly survival ready because it doesn't have a connector, and I think that is nitpicking, but I put it there, so now it's there. We have all the parts inside, and this is going to go up on the workshop as well. Curious, how much does it weigh? It weighs 7 megatons, which is the same. So this doesn't change the mass, and I wanna see that myself actually, if that changes the mass when we do the welding, or if it just stays the same. But we're gonna start this off. The settings I have is 10 times cargo and 5 times welding, because those are the settings I'd recommend anyone to use, because slower welding is just boring and you don't get anything out of it. It's another discussion. But you can see that it is drastically slower. It will speed up, but it is drastically slower. Design feature I would put in, if I do something like this again, is more of these it starts off connections, like I want to call it the tube that you have connected to your mother when you're born, but I can't remember the name of it in English. I would have more of those, so I would have one in either direction, maybe one up and down as well, but I don't. So let's see if we are changing our mass. We are changing our mass. It is increasing and decreasing. We are not changing our mass. Or is it going down? It's slowly going down. Or no? When the parts are traveling through the conveyor system, their mass isn't accounted for. That has to be it. There can be other explanations, but that is plausible. There is another problem, and I believe it is either with the conveyor system or with the welders. And that is, you saw it was going really fast a moment ago, compared to what it's doing now. And as it gets further to the back, it slows down dramatically. There's also another part, and you can start seeing that already, is that this part does not get welded. It is not because they don't have parts, because they have parts. If I manually weld one of those, by just placing one of the welders, or give it some parts, it will start going off, and I'm trying to keep a bit away because it's a bit loud, and I forgot to change the volume setting. But this has parts. It will finish eventually, once it gets around to the back as well. Okay, just to kind of give you a sight of what's going on here, it has done a bit of the armor here. But you can see it's doing things in sections. Everything has access to parts. Now it did all of those in one go. But there you can see a conveyor that is placed, but it's building it in like sections. And now it's finished, just because I went in. But you can see it isn't doing work continuously. It's doing a little bit, and then shutting down, and then continuing and shutting down. And that is because it doesn't have all the parts. It isn't getting all of the parts. If I can get in here, there we go. This has interior plates. It doesn't have anything else. And in one of these waves that are to come, this will get some of its parts, if not all of them. But there's a parts distribution problem, and it is not the conveyor placements, because they all are getting parts. It's just like the amount of parts that can make it through the system. And I think, if I have to guess, the problem is that it has to go through so many conveyors, and there are so many possible routes that it can't decide which way to go. But then you have this part right here, where it just did it. It just built it as I was going to show it. But yes, here we have, here it's doing it in front of our eyes. Hasn't brought everything. It didn't bring in the computers. Is it because there's just too much conveyors and there's too many ways to get the parts that it is being confused? It is possible that that is the problem. I'm not sure. If you think you know why, tell me in the comment section below, because I am genuinely interested in why this isn't working, because I'd love to expand upon this. Anyway, I thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this, then feel free to subscribe and all those other things, and I shall see you next time.